Well, the Division III basketball season, the pinnacle award of that season is the Jostens Trophy, which is this very large trophy here to my left. And it represents service, academics, and of course athletic excellence. And it's my very great pleasure to welcome in the 2012 winner of the men's Jostens Trophy, Aris Wurtz of the Ripon College Redhawks. Aris, thanks for joining me first off. Now help me out here. You're a native of Waupun, Wisconsin? Waupun, Wisconsin. Okay, and you play for the Redhawks this year, yeah. out of the Midwest Conference, and you finished your college career. What is the moment you will remember most from playing the 4 years at Ripon?
Well, I was going to first say this last-second shot I made against Beloit. It was in the middle of the season, but the reason wasn't because it was a last-second shot, and just because of that. It was also because Coach was the first person to hug me after we won the game on a buzzer beater. So that was a great experience, and I think my grandma beat me to the locker room, so that was interesting. So obviously it was awesome that I made the last second shot and the crowd went wild and stuff, but that was a great experience with my coach.
Aris, you're in the top 3 all-time in rebounding and scoring, and the coach you're referencing is Coach Gillespie,
yeah,
who has been at Ripon for a long time and announced he's going to retire this year. And I understand you've known him for a while. I read an article in the student paper where it talks about the fact that you knew him in middle school when you were playing AAU ball. When did you first meet, and how was that relationship developed?
Well, the past 3 years I've been playing with Scott. Like he was a Jostens finalist last year, but I played against him several games. You know, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, and I would play up, and he would have a good team. And he's a year older, but we had some competitive games, and Coach would come watch. And then the AAU circuit, our AAU teams always clashed.
Right.
And I played with one team that was in Milwaukee, so I had to travel an hour for practice all the time. But I would play against him, and Coach would watch that. But so I knew him a great deal before I started my career with him.
Now I understand he's retiring, and I think he's probably down in Florida, because he's also the head baseball coach at Ripon. Did you have a sense this would be his last year? Did you know that at some point during the year, or did you find out after it was over?
I did not know, but the thing that I remember now is right as soon as I heard, I went immediately to his house and talked to him for about 45 minutes and told him, you know, how much he'll be missed and how much I appreciated him, because I was afraid that he was feeling bad because we had, you know, good players, but we didn't have as much success as he probably wanted to, and as we all wanted to. But at the same time, there's a lot of other factors involved, and I told him that, you know, he was a great part of me as well as the team, and we will miss him. Well, obviously, I won't be playing, but
right.
You know, I think it's a great, big loss for Ripon College.
You know, I read again back in that article in the student newspaper. You said that you're the academic player of the year in Division I. You're also the Jostens Trophy winner, and in the article you said the academic award means more to you than the athletic awards do. Why is that?
Because it you know, awards you for how you got to compensate or, you know, allot your time between both athletics and academics, and I believe both are important, and in order to, you know, make yourself successful in the future. And for my further career, you know, whether I get involved in law or first go play in Europe, you know, having that background in both athletics and academics, you know, is very useful.
Now you are a triple major, and you have a 4.0. So first off, I understand 2 majors. How did you end up with a 3rd? And how do you even have enough time to take the classes to finish all the majors?
That's the hard part, yeah. The reason why I have to say why I wanted the philosophy major is because my real name, or my full name is Aristotle, and
okay,
the student of Plato and, you know, the Socrates, the Greek philosophers. So, you know, it's almost inherent that you better get that major. And but, you know, it was very difficult to do that with the economics and business, because, you know, they're so separate issues.
Right.
One's a practical and the others you're dealing with ethics and morals, but the combination is good, you know,
right,
for you to understand that there's kind of the triple bottom line thing with it's just not profits, but it's also, you know, sustainability and ethics involved.
What's the best class you took at Ripon?
My best class was this actual leadership class that I took, and Professor Christ is the professor at Ripon College. I didn't minor in leadership, but it was a class that, you know, we worked on teamwork and character building, and we read various books on, you know, individuals that had success in their lifetime. And the reason why I liked it, you know, so much is that, you know, obviously you got the chance to lead in the classroom in groups and things like that, but you also got the chance to follow. And it was kind of that servant leadership idea. And that's what I transferred to the campus, or hopefully I'm seen as transferring that to the campus, where you're doing both.
How does that connect to what you did on the basketball court this year?
I believe, you know, my academics is kind of be seen as an example of how you can do both athletics and academics and have success at both of them at the same time. And some of my teammates obviously looked at that and they saw that it's possible. So hopefully I have that impact that, you know, obviously a student athlete can, you know, have success in both areas. And in terms of basketball, you know, I was always shooting, you know, late after practice and working on my, I guess, trademark fadeaway jump shot and stuff like that. And to know that the players are, you know, they see you, you know, and hopefully, you know, that makes them want to practice as well.
Now you got a 4.0, so it couldn't have been that hard, but what's the hardest class you took at Ripon?
The hardest class actually was a price theory class. Okay. But I don't really, the reason why is where you're combining calculus and microeconomics, and you're almost getting into econometrics, but not quite there, and it's I don't really. It
sounds hard.
Yeah.
I had a hard time just following the description. And the third element of the Jostens Trophy is service, and you've been involved in a foster grandparent program. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it allows the grandparents to help, you know, local schools, which was in the Fond du Lac area. But what I did was make sure I applied for grants, because foster grandparents doesn't get as much money, and especially with the economy and the budget cuts and things like that. And I was able to, you know, help facilitate their ability to get grants. And I had a relationship with grandma who worked at the program, and I also, you know, wrote all the letters, and, you know, developed relationships with the schools and allowed these grandparents to still, you know, have successful lives, you know, and meaningful lives, even though they're old.
Right. And then the other element of your service is you're a volunteer at a local congressman's office. What did you learn from that, and what did you learn from politics in general? I'm going to put you on the spot here. You're a business and economy and a philosophy major, so I expect something very profound.
Yeah, profound is difficult when it comes to politics. But
well, that's pretty profound right there.
Yeah, but I mean, I like the experience to see what the world is all about. Sometimes when you're in college and just doing classes and things like that, you kind of get, you know, you don't see exactly what the battering and political arguments are always, how you know, how competitive that is. And I was able to become aware of that, you know, obviously with the phone calls and talking to the congressman himself, with, you know, how he became a congressman. He's been there for 20 years, right. And he's been in, you know, and that was right in that the budget crisis, sure. When he was he had difficulty coming back to Fond du Lac a lot because they were holding him, and, you know, talking to the citizens in the local area and their concerns was also very useful, because you get you know, you have a wider context within your frame of mind. You understand that, you know, what people want, they need, and it's important to care for others and understand their opinions as well.
Aris Wurtz for Congress 2018 maybe?
Coach said that I was on a video for Green Bay News Network and something. Anyways, he said I was going to become a U.S. Senator, and I was like, because the difficult thing is I know not all senators and congressmen have to compromise their ethical and value beliefs. I don't want to say that most of them do, but there are times when some have to compromise their ethics, and I don't want to really be put in that situation. But at the same time, hopefully I can, maybe get in that position and change the atmosphere. And obviously these are pretty bold statements, but if I was to do something like that, I would want to, be the same individual as currently.
First up, though, I think for you, not just this next weekend, we were talking off camera, but in the next couple of years, there's more basketball. You'd like to play abroad, I understand.
Yeah. Well, I got a lot of connections that my cousin currently is playing overseas in Luxembourg, and he actually found a wife over there, and he loves it and the experience, and just hearing from him, and he's a great player. He played at George Mason, and so even when I saw him at the Brand Jennings camp, it's a Bucks camp this summer, it was awesome to play with him, and the idea of continuing maybe the chance to play with him over there, because we work so well together, and even if it's not possible that I can play with him, to have another opportunity would be beneficial as well.
If I told you you could pick any spot on the map to play basketball internationally, where would you go?
Well, I was going to say England, but Coach tells me that the quality of basketball is not very as good as the other countries.
Sure.
I'm not aware of that, but I want to be in I was actually thinking of Greece, but they're having a lot of problems over there as well.
Because you could apply your education.
Yeah, I know. To go see all those historical sites would be awesome, but probably Italy is where obviously you don't know exact locations, but the quality of basketball is awesome.
I have to tell you, the promotional opportunities for somebody named Aristotle playing basketball in Greece, I would think would be pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, he is Aris Wurtz, and he is the winner of the 2012 Jostens Trophy. He's the second ever Midwest Conference men's player to win the trophy. You also, Chris Breyer, who won it from Lawrence University a few years ago. And the last question for you is this. This, not this one exactly, but this is yours. Where will you put it?
I was actually just talking to somebody about that, and I don't have any place to put it in my dorm. I can tell you that. And
I wouldn't advise doing that.
I don't think at home. I really am considering putting it at Ripon College and giving back to them. Having this award represent the college, and rather than just represent me.